What is going on, guys? Money Webby here, back in with the NFL Conference Championships, the last week of DraftKings DFS for the year, so you gotta get it in. Only 2 games to choose from. Of course, is the Conference Championships. 4 teams remain. You got the Jacksonville Jaguars scoring off against the Patriots at 3 p.m. tomorrow. Then Philly going against Minnesota at 6:40. Some great games there. Obviously not like high-scoring affairs, which you kind of look for in DraftKings, but we're going to still make it work based on these prices. I mean, it's tough to go off the board when you're only choosing between 4 teams, but we're just going to look at these prices and really manipulate our way with these picks to make it work for a full lineup. And just guys that really like on the slate, I think you got to go. So to kick it off here, before we get going, make sure to drop a like in the video. It really helps me out, guys. So let's try to get over 100 likes yet again in this video. Thank you so much if we can do that. I'm going to start off with Kyle Slaughter, the quarterback from Minnesota. Just kidding. I just saw that. I was like, who the hell is this guy? But for Kyle Slaughter, I had no idea. Never heard that guy's name in my life. But seriously, though, at quarterback, I'm going to go with Blake Bortles. As dumb as that might sound, it could easily bite me in the ass. Like, he honestly could go for, like, negative drafting points because he just has abysmal games sometimes. But he actually looked pretty good last week against Pittsburgh, posting 16 drafting points. Not the price of $5,000. It really allows you to pay up for some other guys. Like, if you look at the salaries, like, Tom Brady at $7,700, you're saving $2,700 just by going Blake Bortles. And honestly, they could end up with around the same drafting points if everything like breaks right. Like if Dion Lewis runs in a touchdown or like Rex Burkhead. Tom Brady's the kind of guy that can easily surrender some touchdowns to the running backs. So that's kind of what I'm keeping in mind. I think that Blake Bortles is going to be working from behind in this game going against New England. Obviously, New England is favored by around a touchdown or so. So Bortles should be working from behind if everything works out how it should. I mean, against Pittsburgh, they were also the underdog, but ended up getting up big in that game, so you never know what's going to happen. But most times, like, this game was played like 10 times. I think like 8 out of 10 times the Jaguars will be working from behind in this game. So that's what I'm going to assume here. And he can definitely take off with his legs. We've seen that the last couple of games. 35 rushing yards, 88 against the Buffalo. Don't think he's going to go for 88 rushing yards, but just working from behind, he can definitely rack up some yards and get like a touchdown or so coming from behind. And also without Leonard Fournette, we saw last week with the Titans versus the Patriots, those big body, like not really shifty running backs kind of struggle against the Patriots because they have such great lane integrity, meaning they won't let you just like bounce to the outside easily. You kind of just need to go right through the middle, and they're very strong inside of their defensive line. They get good D tackles and really just play the run well there. So I think they're going to make Blake Bortles beat him in this game. So that's why I really like him at 5,000. I think he'll be able to do enough to return some value there at the price tag. So that's the one quarterback I'm going to go. Like on this 4-game slate, I'm not going to be recommending more than one quarterback, but Blake Bortles is the guy that definitely stood out to me at quarterback when I first looked at the slate, the price, and just like what's going to go down, I think, in that game flow, or like how the game will really be, the game script or whatever, how everything will work out. So that's the quarterback I'm looking at. Moving on to running back, though, I'm going to go with Dion Lewis again. Why not, right? 8,100. The price tag obviously isn't ideal, but just with the matchup here, going against Jacksonville, their cornerbacks are so good, so they're going to struggle outside with the wide receivers. So I think that will open some things up for Dion Lewis in the passing game. Like, he got 9 receptions last game for 79 yards. That was really making him move the ball very easily against Tennessee with Dion Lewis in the passing game, because it really adds another element to their game or their offensive game with like Gronk over the middle and Mandola over the middle. Then you got Dion Lewis. It really gives you a headache on the defensive side of the ball. So I think Dion Lewis can get over 20 touches yet again in this game, and he's really not game script dependent. Like with guys like Leonard Fournette, if the Jaguars get down like 2 touchdowns, he's not very active in the receiving game. They'll probably turn to TJ Yeldon, another guy that I think is a great option in GPP. I'll mention him in a bit, but Dion Lewis, not game script dependent. He can get it done in different ways. And PPR scoring, which is DraftKings, he's getting good receptions. So as long as he remains, you can't really predict what the Patriots are going to do, but I think he should remain a part of the receiving game, just how good he's been over the last few weeks. So I think if he is a part of the receiving game and the PPR scoring, which is great, he's getting the receptions, he gets the points. So I think he'll get it done here at 8,100, the safest running back on the board, I think, because like I mentioned, he's not game script dependent. But for my second guy I'm looking at, it's going to be Latavius Murray. Not a great matchup against Philly. They're very strong against the run, but just like with the Latavius Murray, he doesn't need many rushing yards. Like he just plows his way to like around 60 yards. Like, not very effective, but he gets the touches just to keep him honest in the rushing game. And also, he's very good in the red zone. So I think he can honestly get a touchdown or two in this game. They love to go to him in the red zone. So at 5,700, like if he just gets like his normal like 50 yards in the touchdown, it's already pretty solid. Like that's all you really can ask for out of Latavius Murray. And then he maybe get a catch or two in this game. Going against Philly, also I think like in this game, the Vikings are the favorite. They're like 3-point favorites. So I think Minnesota will be up most of this game. I think Minnesota is going to win, so I think Latavius Murray will definitely benefit from that if they run the ball a bit more. Against Philly, it's probably going to be a little bit cold here there in Philly, so maybe they lean on the run game a bit more. But Latavius Murray, not a bad matchup. We saw the Atlanta Falcons be able to run the ball pretty well against them last week, but I think Latavius Murray can run into the touchdown there in that matchup. That's where I really like him. For that upside and that safety with that touchdown ability. So those are the first two running backs I'm really looking at. And like I said, for a GPP option, I think TJ Yeldon or just a guy to save some money can definitely be in play here because against the Patriots, like I mentioned, if the Jaguars get down big in this game, then they're going to have to turn to TJ Yeldon. Like, he's a great receiving back for them. We saw that last week against Pittsburgh. 3 catches for 57 yards, and also he ran in the touchdown, so he can get it done. He's a capable running back. He was drafted in the second round, I believe, for a reason. He can definitely do it. Against San Fran, like 7 catches for 64 yards. He's a go-to receiving back. Patriots kind of struggle against running backs in the passing game, so I think TJ Yeldon is honestly a better matchup against the Patriots. More of a shiftier running back, can get to the edge a bit easier than Leonard Fournette, so I would honestly consider TJ Yeldon and GPP to save some money. So those are the 3 running backs I'm definitely looking at: Dion Lewis, Latavius Murray, and TJ Yeldon. Let's move on to wide receiver, though. Adam Thielen is going to be the guy I think you got to go here at 7,400. He's just so safe, and he hasn't really had that big week in a while. Against Philly, I think it could honestly happen here, like just one of those like huge games, like 7 for like 150. Maybe not that big, but just like one of those games where he breaks one. He hasn't broke one in a while. They might kind of focus more on Diggs after the last few weeks, as Diggs has really been going off, and Adam Thielen has been quiet. So maybe in this game they kind of go more to Diggs sides, and then Adam Thielen has a big game. Philly's cornerbacks aren't that special. I think Adam Thielen can definitely get the better of them. Against New Orleans, he had a tough matchup last week. They actually put Marcus Lattimore on him last week, so that was a tough thing for Adam Thielen. So, like, with everything considered there, I think he'll have a better matchup here against Philly. 7,400, so safe. I think you got to go in there, wide receiver. And for my second guy, Danny Amendola at 5,500, going against Jacksonville. I mentioned how good their cornerbacks are on the outside with A.J. Boye and Jalen Ramsey. So Danny Amendola in the middle of the field can definitely get a few catches here. In the playoff time, this guy always comes up huge. He's so clutch. I think he got like 6 third-down conversions last week against Tennessee. Crazy stuff. He looked great in that game. So I think we'll carry that over into this game at 5,500. Not a bad price. He's just the move-the-chain guy for this Patriots offense. Great for PPR scoring, taking that Julian Edelman role. We know how good he was with it last year, and then the years before that. So Danny Amendola, 5,500, definitely a guy you need to consider in your lineup. So those are 2 wide receivers I feel very safe about, very confident. But now then after you get those 2 guys in your lineup, you just get this like wasteland of wide receivers. But the guy that I'm looking at though is gonna be Keelan Cole at 3,500. He doesn't get the full snaps. He's kind of like the 3rd wide receiver for the Jaguars, splitting some work with Allen Hurns, but he's just been so good. I just want Jacksonville to give him the full like complement of snaps in this game because he's just been making so many plays when he's been given an opportunity. He made a huge play against Pittsburgh last week. one catch for 45 yards. Good for 5 DraftKings points. I think he can just get it done here against New England. The way you attack them is in that slot. Like Gilmore is very good on the outside. I think he'll give Marquise Lee some trouble. I'm guessing he'll be matched up on him. So I think Keelan Cole will be that guy in the middle of the field that Blake Bortles will look more than people think. He's a good player, underrated. He's been one of the best graded wide receivers on this Jacksonville team this year. So at 3,500, in the best matchup against the Patriots secondary, and they'll be working from behind. I definitely think he can get it done at 3,500 to save some money, to really pay out for guys like Adam Thielen and Danny Amendola. So that is another wide receiver I'm definitely considering. So those are 3: Keelan Cole, Danny Amendola, and Adam Thielen. Then let's move on to tight end. Rob Gronkowski, just going to steal the show, I think, at tight end this week. Like, he can outscore these tight ends by so much. You got Zach Ertz and Kyle Rudolph, really the only other 2 tight ends to actually play. So Rob Gronkowski here at 7,900. Had a pretty solid week last week against Tennessee. Good for 20 DraftKings points. Like I said, he can outscore these guys by so much. He has 30-plus upside in any game. And against Jacksonville, like I said, they might try to put Jalen Ramsey on him, but I don't think that's going to work. Rob Gronkowski isn't a guy you really can take out of the game. So I think he'll be able to get a touchdown this game. Maybe like 5 to 7 catches. Good for like 80 yards. A similar game to last week. And if he does that, gets like around 20 DraftKings points, Zach Ertz and Kyle Rudolph easily can have quiet games. Like we saw Ertz last week have only 6 DraftKings points. He can be easily taken out of the game script. Like Rob Gronkowski is the only guy honestly on the slate that can honestly not be taken out of the game. So Rob Gronkowski, I think you got to pay up for him if you can. At 7,900 because he's just so damn good. And Ertz could go for like 5 DraftKings points. Rudolph could go for like honestly like 2. Then you have like a 15-point swing just by going Gronk there at 7,900. But if I wasn't gonna go with Gronk, which I would say you shouldn't do that, but I would go with Zach Ertz at 5,300. Going against Minnesota, I would definitely try to pay up for one of those 2 if I could. Which you definitely can do if you go Blake Bortles. So Rob Gronkowski, though, 7,900. Think you got to go him in your lineups. And for my defense, we're going to stick with the Eagles here again at 3,000. Save a bit of money here. Think they can do enough against Case Keenum. I mean, it doesn't sound smart to go the Eagles defense and go Adam Thielen and Latavius Murray, but based on the salary, I think they can get some sacks here and do enough. Like Adam Thielen can easily go like 8 for like 120, and the Vikings still not put up that many points. Latavius Murray could be like the only guy that gets the touchdowns. Like there's definitely ways you can have both of these things work out. But so at 3,000, I think the Eagles can get some sacks on Case Keenum. Their offensive line isn't great, and he definitely does struggle against pass rush. So I think the Eagles defense can do enough here at home. They're very good at home. I mentioned that last week, averaging 11 DraftKings points per game at home. So at 3,000 here, a nice little value here. Like they can honestly allow like points and still get the DraftKings points, like we saw against the Giants. They let up 29 points, still got 8 DraftKings points. Like this team does it every single game, no matter what, how many points they give up. So at 3,000, I like the value there. So that is the defense I'm considering. So that's it, guys. Like 2-game slate. Didn't want to go too insane with it. I got Blake Bortles at the quarterback. You got Dion Lewis, Latavius Murray, and also TJ Yeldon if you want to save some money there at running back. Then at wide receiver, Adam Thielen at 7,400. Then you got Danny Amendola at 5,500. Then Keelan Cole at 3,500. Definitely a risk, but I think he's the guy that has to step up for the Jaguars. Then at tight end, we're going to go with Rob Gronkowski there, obviously. I think he's going to be obviously like pretty friggin' chalky, very popular there. But I think you got to go with him there. Then we're going to go with the Eagles on the defensive side of the ball. So that is it, guys. Drop a like in the video if you did enjoy it. Had my grandmother texting me during the video, but I don't care. We got to get the plays out there, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. Wish you guys the best of luck on this 2-game slate conference championship. Wish you guys the best of luck. I'll say it again. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Definitely drop a like in the video if you did. Not even sure if I said that just a second ago. I'm losing my train of thought now. But like I said, let's try to get over 100 likes and definitely subscribe to get more DraftKings plays. I do NBA DraftKings plays every single day. NFL season is over. It literally flew by like always. It's just like too much fun in one short time that just like goes by like a mega speed. But it was a good year. Hope you guys enjoyed my content for the NFL season. I'll definitely be back doing this next year. So stay subscribed if you want to for the NFL content. And enjoy your NFL Sunday Conference Championship. And we'll see you back here whenever you want to come back. Good luck, guys.